What's up, guys? Welcome to the Meet Me at the Window podcast. I'm your host, Nicky Marino. I got a special guest, Las Vegas phenom, Shawn Love. Welcome, Shawn Love. He's here with me today. We're gonna jump into some lifestyle stuff. He's gonna tell you a little bit about himself and tell you why. We're gonna talk about why he's a special guest on the Meet Me at the Window podcast. So I'm gonna open up the floor here for Shawn. We're gonna talk about what brought him to Vegas. Talk about his childhood. Talk about some of his military background and what he does here in Las Vegas for the community.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome, Shawn. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
It's nice being here. This is a nice studio.
Yeah,
Glad to do it.
I'm glad to have you here, bro. I'm glad to have you with me, man.
This is nice, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So what's going on? What do you need me to tell you today?
I want to know. I want you to tell the people. What do you do here in Las? I know you've been in Las Vegas for a long time. What do you do here in Las Vegas for the community?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you how I got here. When I was in the military, everyone knows at Nellis Air Force Base, a lot of stuff going on out there. So my first experience in Vegas was coming out here for what we call green flag exercise.
Okay.
So they do exercises out at Nellis where they do actual war fighting. That's where we train how to actually do air combat, like what would be going on right now if something were to go down over in Europe right now. We actually go out and we practice actual air combat, and we do it with all the branches of the military. So it's like a big air combat and war fighting exercise. So
wow.
Came out to Vegas, and the rest was history, man.
Yeah.
I love this place. Once I got a chance to spend a little time, it was downtown Vegas to start.
Okay.
So that's where they put us up, and I just kind of explored the town, and I'm like, man, I really like this place.
So when you came to Las Vegas, were you on Nellis Air? Were you on the base over here? Yeah. That's where you were stationed?
Well, I wasn't stationed there. I came out for this exercise. They have a couple of different exercises per year. They have a green flag exercise, which is an electronic warfare exercise,
Okay.
which my unit was heavy into that. And then they have red flag, which is actual combat fighting exercise. So I've done those, and that's why I came out here. So you get pilots and aircraft from all over the world that come out here for Nellis for warfighting exercises. So when you actually get into a theater of operations, like over there in the NATO countries and Ukraine and stuff, we practice that stuff all the time.
That's big time, especially with it's good stuff, especially what's going on right now here. What do you think about what's going on here in Ukraine and what we're dealing with right now? I mean, you got any input on that?
I got a lot of input on that.
My man, Shawn Love.
Wow. Well, first of all, a lot of people don't really even understand that the first two world wars started in that area.
Yeah.
And, we have to be very careful in what we do now, because it could quickly lead one plane flying in the wrong direction, dropping a bomb in the wrong direction on the wrong thing, and we're at World War III. And that's not good when people have nukes, man.
Yeah, I mean, good thing we're in America, because the USA, we got it all, baby. We're on top. No one's coming after us here. Shawn will tell you that too. He's been with his military experience.
I'm just hoping that Russia is a little bit clumsy right now on what the stuff they're doing. You can see that, and all it's going to take is a missile fired in one of the NATO countries, and it's just like they fired a missile in the United States because of the agreement that we have at NATO that if you attack one, you attack all.
Oh yeah,
this is not good.
It's all over the news. So if you're not seeing what's going on, you're probably sleeping under a rock. So Shawn, tell me about your childhood. Where'd you come from? We know you're here in Las Vegas, but tell me a little about your childhood.
I'll tell you how I got here.
Yeah, we want to know. The people want to know.
The people want to know. No, man, I was born in youngest of four in Ohio, in Cincinnati, Ohio, but family moved to New York. So grew up in New York, and when it was time to graduate from high school, my dad wanted me to go to West Point. Wanted me to go straight into the military, West Point, become a cadet. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go to college. So I found a ROTC scholarship and went to Howard University down in Washington, D.C., and was a ROTC major there, which is kind of a trip because you're in school, but yet you're in the military at the same time.
Yeah,
so you're doing
of
military
course, yeah.
classes and doing all this stuff. And then it culminates at the end when you are about to graduate from college, you also get your commission. So I became a second lieutenant.
Okay.
And then you have to pick basically what career field you want to be in. And I was a computer engineering major in undergrad. And at that point, it was, okay, I need to do something. So I could either have gone into the military and computers. I wanted to go to medical school. I was actually thinking about, studying to get into medical school and do that. But then I got into flight school. I took the pilot's exam and did pretty well. And that enabled me to go to Army flight school. So after graduating, I went down to Fort Rucker, which is in Alabama, middle of Alabama, Nowhereville.
Middle of nowhere, Alabama.
Middle of nowhere, to Enterprise, Alabama, and went to flight school down there. And all Army pilots start off flying helicopters. So I started off flying helicopters, and upon graduating, I did well enough in my class to get a fixed wing transition. And what that means is I wasn't going to fly helicopters, I was going to fly fixed wing. And so went kind of back to their fixed wing transition course and learned how to fly multi-engine aircraft. So I was doing reconnaissance, flying reconnaissance stuff in the special ops unit, and did that for a number of years, and then had the opportunity to go to the Air Force. Because the Air Force, as an Army pilot, you end up managing pilots, and we have warrant officers that do most of the flying. And so in the Air Force, you actually get a chance to fly, and I really enjoyed flying. I was good at it.
It's tough, and it's not an easy thing to do. I think it's one. Listen, I travel a lot, and like every time I get on an aircraft, I'm like, now it's a lot of autopilot and it's a lot of computers, but I honestly think that flying an aircraft, especially in the military, it's one of the hardest things to do. It's tough.
Because you have to fly, and you have to worry about people shooting you down. So it's not just get in there and operate an aircraft. It's get in there and operate that aircraft and do a specific mission to go do something. And you're not operating in friendly territory. And
you're also responsible for everybody on that aircraft. You have fragile lives that are in your hands when you're flying an aircraft. So that's a very delicate, man. All power to you, man. I give you all
it worked out good.
Respect on that.
It worked out good. So I did the Army stuff for 5 years, and then it was the end of the Gulf War.
Okay.
And we had too many people in the military, so they were actually asking and letting people out. Now, they had spent a lot of money putting me through flight school, so they weren't going to let me out. But I met an Air Force general in special operations, and he assisted me with making that transition. So I got out of the Army on a Tuesday and was in the Air Force on Wednesday, and then back to pilot training again, because now I got to learn how to fly jets.
That's a quick jump, man. Quick jump.
Quick jump, man. But it was
that's great.
It was good. It was good, and then I learned a lot in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Learned a lot. Did a lot
That's
of
great.
traveling. Yeah.
That's great. So as you know, we're in the sport. I'm in the sports betting industry. I'm a sports handicapper. I know you know a lot of professional athletes.
Yeah.
And tell me about you. You've been watching this March Madness. You've been watching it.
March Madness is crazy. I had a group of people, because I'm a host now here, and I had a group of people in for March Madness, and it is probably one of the biggest sporting events to happen in the country, and people come to Vegas for that.
We're it's the city. We're in the right city, right?
and it's about to be the draft.
NFL draft,
which is supposed to happen before COVID, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I'm glad they're bringing it back to Vegas, because this town is doing a lot. You know that we finally got the Raiders here.
Yeah,
pretty sure we're gonna get the Oakland A's here.
I hope, man. I hope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So buy some property in Vegas if you need to.
Vegas is getting saturated. People from California moving here every day.
They're killing the game.
Killing
California's
the traffic.
Killing the traffic.
I don't even want to go down to the strip anymore because I'm in traffic 30, 40 minutes, bro.
Yeah. But you know what? It's still better than LA.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. It is. And since COVID, I will tell you this. I've been living here 7 years. And when I came here, pre-COVID, Vegas was the spot. And it
was cheap.
Yeah, and it was very cheap. The cost of living is still cheap, but it's going up day in and day out. Gas prices don't help. $6 a gallon, especially if you got to put the expensive stuff in. But the aspect of what I'm getting here is COVID's done. We don't hear about COVID no more. It's all over. It was a tough time, but Vegas is back. I mean, people are on the Strip now. People are coming here, and I think we're back. Like, as you know, you're a host in town, and so tell me about your host. Like, you got a lot of big time clients that come in town that you take care of.
So living in Vegas, everyone knows this. You do favors for friends.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Hey, I got a friend coming to town. Can you help him out? So years ago, I helped out a good friend of mine. He had two of his buddies in town. I took care of them. And at the end, they were like, "Hey, man, how much money we owe you?" I'm like, "You don't owe me anything. I'm at dinner with you guys and bottle service and everything."
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, look, we actually pay guys to do this."
Yeah.
And their light went off. I'm like, "You pay guys to go out and have fun?"
Yeah, right.
I know my retirement job.
It sounds like a good position.
Yeah, I know my retirement job because I did the military thing, and then I did the Air National Guard thing, and then flew in the airlines for years. And this was my retirement job. I decided I wanted to come down to Vegas and not pay $6 a gallon for gas in California where I was living, and came down here. So it's a great town. And now I host corporate clients that come in and they want to have a good time in Vegas, and they need an insider to take care of them and show them around. And I get paid for going out.
What's better than that?
Hey, man.
You're working, you're doing what you love to do. You're in the city, and you're a military guy too, so you're also looking out for clients that you're with, keeping them safe as well.
Yes, sir.
You got the best of both worlds. My man, Shawn Love. Guys, if you don't know him, I brought him on my podcast because I want you guys to know him, okay? We are a sports, this is a sports handicapping podcast, but it's also a lifestyle podcast, okay? I want to bring certain special guests. I want you guys to meet important people that you haven't met. So if you guys just tuned in, you haven't watched, Shawn Love, my main man here. And yeah, man, like I said, this March Madness is going crazy. Let me ask you something. Have you been to the new Raider Stadium? Have you been inside Allegiant?
I actually have not been to the stadium.
No?
Believe it or not.
Oh,
no,
you got to check that out.
So I have a little thing behind that. I was offered a bunch of tickets this year for games, but every time, since I'm hosting, I'm up all night. The last thing I want to do is get up to go to a 1:00 game when I didn't get in till 5:36.
Well, it could be worse. It could be 10:00 games.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
We got definitely. Maybe we'll go to a game. Maybe we'll go to a game this season.
I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely
the stadium's beautiful.
Yeah,
and I hear it's not as bad as I thought it would be getting in and out of.
Yeah, so a lot of people. I will tell you this. I've lived in Miami. I lived in Boston. I've lived where, you have to drive 40, 50 minutes to go to a football game, to go to any big-time stadium. Yeah. And Vegas is doing it right. Do not let anybody persuade you the wrong way. Yeah. Guys, I live in Henderson. I take an Uber, $25 Uber. I'm at the game in 10 minutes. I'm at my seat in 30. Yeah. Guys, it's a great transition. I'm telling you.
Not bad at all. And I'm looking forward to where they're going to put this baseball stadium.
They're talking about the Trop, right? They're going to knock down the Tropicana.
See, I've heard the Trop. And I've also heard the Rio.
The Rio, I heard that too. Yeah,
the Rio actually makes more sense.
Yeah,
because it's more property, and you can kind of get in and out of there a little bit easier. The Trop, that would be good too, but then now that's right by the airport. So I don't know about flying over and different things like that. So
I think Vegas. So when I was reading, and I've talked to a few developers, I think Vegas's plan is to have Allegiant baseball stadium. They're trying to get an NBA stadium, and then we got the hockey arena, and hopefully we can get this baseball NBA in town.
I think so. I think it's going to happen.
Be a nice big square, bro.
Yeah, we almost had basketball years ago. A lot of people don't really know about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm letting the cat out the bag, but the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay. Yeah.
Was going to be. That's back when that whole Chris Paul thing was going on there. We almost got him.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We almost got him years ago. But Vegas is a hungry sports town. There's people here from everywhere, and whatever team comes here, Vegas is going to support it.
Yeah, I'll tell you when the earlier years when I did move here, it was the inaugural season of the Vegas Golden Knights when they had a phenomenal year.
Phenomenal.
And Vegas was going crazy, man. The stadium was packed every day. The sports books were packed. Everybody was betting on the Golden Knights every game. They were winning. They almost won the finals. I met a lady at Starbucks that year. I met a lady at Starbucks that year, and she's like, Nikki, she used to give me my coffee every day, And this poor woman, I mean, she's working at Starbucks making $10 an hour. She bet a $25 bet that the Golden Knights would win the conference that year.
Oh, wow. How much is she?
She made like 120,000. I'm like, God bless her, man. Like, but that was crazy. But that's what I'm trying to say is like the professional sports teams coming to Vegas, man. It's like people love it, man. You know, like we got the hockey arena behind us right here.
It's crazy.
Green Valley Ranch area. They just opened the Dollar Loan Center. They're gonna have the minor league Silver Knights play there, and they're gonna have a bunch of concerts. So Vegas is up and coming, but man, if we get the baseball stadium
where you are, is up and coming. This Water Street area here.
This is beautiful.
This is beautiful over here.
It's up and coming. Restaurants, casinos, everything you need.
Yeah.
But if we get the baseball stadium, I mean, I'm never leaving Vegas. I mean, never. Yeah. You know, I'm not a Raiders fan, but I do enjoy going to the Raiders games.
Absolutely.
Allegiant, they did a beautiful job there. And if we can, you know, these upcoming landmarks, if we can get them rolling, man, I mean.
Look here, if we get a baseball team, which, listen, before I moved here, I was in Oakland because a lot of my friends played with the Oakland A's.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Frank Thomas, Jermaine Dye, Ron Gant, you know, Jason Giambi. These are my friends, and it would be good to see that team down here.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, man, because you go to the A's games, and you go to A's games in Oakland.
It's a rough area, right?
It's a rough area, but it might be 7,000 people at the game.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
That's why they got no money. Yeah,
no money, man.
It's tough. I go to an Oakland game, I'm going with you, brother.
With me, man, we're gonna have some fun, especially with all the connections down here. A lot of people run through the A's and done a great. The A's have always been underpaid on their players, but overperformed. The A's have always been a great team, and it'd be a real blessing to have them down here in Las Vegas, man.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because that'll do a lot for the economy too.
Oh yeah, I mean we need it. I mean, you know, the slot machines keep the lights on, but come on, we need some more pro teams out here.
Vegas is about world-class entertainment.
Yeah,
right. So we have world-class concerts. You know, we have world-class nightclubs and restaurants. Now we have the Golden Knights and the Raiders. And look what the Raiders did in the offseason, man. Yeah. You know, look, there's hope.
The problem with the Raiders, though, these guys come here, they got to stay out of trouble, man. I mean, rookies, and I mean, it's tragedies are happening. I feel so bad for these guys. It's just it's a city of sin.
See, you know what though? If you come here and you're a professional athlete and you get in trouble, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
Because these teams have stuff set up.
Yeah.
You don't need to drive drunk. You don't need to drive buzzed. They have stuff set up where you call a number. Yeah. They come pick up your car and drive you home in your car.
For sure.
So your car, you wake up the next morning if you've been drinking. You know, yeah, we have a few problems, but I don't think it's as many problems as could be.
Yeah.
And what happens, I notice, it's not necessarily the guys who live here, it's the teams who come here to visit.
Oh yeah, I seen that. We had the Pro Bowl. What's his name? The guy from the Saints.
Alvin Kamara, man.
Alvin Kamara. It's the second.
And
it was the day before the game, right? He was at a day club or something.
No, he was at a nightclub until 4 or 5 in the morning, and the game was later on that day. Man,
I like that. I like Kamara, man. He's a tough running back, man. He's a tough back.
But you know what? You gotta use your head.
Yeah, you gotta control yourself. But you gotta understand also. I mean, these young guys just get out of college. They're signing these $1 million deals. They're in Las Vegas. You know, you're walking through casinos. You're seeing women all around you. I mean, listen. Marino will even tell you it's tough to handle. Even me, I'm living in this city, and it's tough. Imagine you're a professional athlete.
Well, see, that's where I come in. That's where my job comes in. If you surround yourself by the right people, you know, you surround yourself. Look, you're a business.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it, right? A professional athlete, you're worth millions and millions of dollars. So you are a business. You have to treat your career like a business, and it's hard to tell someone who's 19 years old with a pocket full of money. That you kind of have
to do anything. I mean.
You have to do anything. You have a responsibility to not drive your car 156 miles an hour down the street.
Yeah, that's wild.
Go get on the track. Go get on the track, man, and do. So you know what I like to do with people is, okay, here are the things that you like to do. You like to have a good time. I want to keep you safe while you're doing it.
Yeah,
and I want to keep everything. Look, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be getting in an elevator, waiting on an elevator with other people and getting in a beef with people about that.
Especially drunk people.
That's right. And so you always got to have somebody calm and level-headed with these guys. And you know what? Unfortunately, them getting in trouble, it's not good for them. It's not good for their families. It's not good for the community. But for me, it's good for me, because for me, you need to have a host. You need to have someone taking care of you. When I go out with guys, we'll have a security guy. We'll have a guy that they're not waiting in line with people and getting pushed. We get them in, we get them out, and they get home safely.
Safe. It's all that matters. That's your job,
it, man. That's my job.
That's one of the reasons why I want to bring you on here too. You know, especially being in Las Vegas and like keeping the community safe, man. You know, the people want to hear that stuff, and I know you deal with a lot of athletes. You deal with a lot of people that come into town, and you're right, man. You know, it's the city of sin. Anything can happen here in Las Vegas, especially if it's your first time in Las Vegas. Okay, if you guys watch The Hangover 1, Hangover 2, it can happen. Trust me.
This. I call it the city of desire. It's anything you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, most places have last call for alcohol. You know, it's 120.
Not here, brother.
No.
24/7, whatever you want to do.
24/7, man. So you have to take it. The dispensaries are open.
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah, everything is cool here. You just have to find your lane. And you know what? I actually think that if you can come here and you can make it here in Vegas without burning yourself out, you can make it anywhere.
Anywhere, man. Listen, when I first moved here, Shawn, I moved from up north Boston, and people said I'll be back in 6 months, and 7 years later, I'm still here.
And they're coming out to visit you.
Yeah, and I got somebody coming out to visit me every month. Hey, Nikki, can you do something for me? I'm coming down. I'll come hang out with you. I'll buy you a couple of drinks. Shawn, you married? You got a couple kids? You got a family?
I'm married. I got married late in life.
Late in life. Hey, better late than never, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends on how you look at that. I'm happy. I found the right person, but
That's awesome.
I got married later in life because with all that military stuff that I was doing, it wasn't conducive to settling down.
Yeah, of course.
I'm traveling. I'm doing things. I'm in places that I can't tell my family.
Yeah.
And I could not imagine having a wife and kids while I was doing that. It was pretty tough. My mom didn't know where I was. I'd pack a bag and I was gone.
Yeah.
And when I was gone, I probably still couldn't even tell people when I got back.
Yeah. That was probably tough on your parents too, huh?
Yeah, it was tough on her, but she didn't know half the things I was doing.
Yeah.
You just, whenever you hear about a military person getting killed or injured in a routine training accident, that's not true. I'll tell you that now. They were doing something. And that's the part about the military that, my hat's off to guys, because you're out there sacrificing every single day. You're away from your families. You're in harm's way every day.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'll mention on this podcast is honor your veterans, man, because they give it up. They give it up every day. It ain't just on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
They're out there doing things
for sure.
every single day.
And it's a monster community. The veteran community, it's a monster community. I mean, we go to a couple of local events that, I've been to a couple of local events for veterans that are honoring veterans here in Las Vegas, in Henderson. And I mean, the events are monster turnouts. I mean, tons of people, tons of great people. And it really is good for the community. So, if
honor those veterans, man, because all the things that we have the privilege of doing is because somebody has sacrificed that.
For sure.
I always say that's just honor your veterans, man. Buy a veteran a cup of coffee. Buy them a donut, something. Just don't wait for Veterans Day to do. If you know somebody that's a veteran, do something nice for them.
Yeah. No, I respect that. Love and respect that, man. Yeah. Guys, I'm Nicky Marino. This is the Meet Me at the Window podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My guest, Shawn Love. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me, man.
I'm sure you'll see us again, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Got it.
It's Marino, baby.